Bruce Evans, just going to give you a quick scouting report on Skyline for the weekend. Important match for you guys. They'll pretty much start in a 4-3-3. They may move to a 4-4-2 just to match up with us. Pretty aggressive group, good in possession. The forwards have some good, 1v1 ability. So just take a look at their kickoff to start off. It's a simple pass back, and then they try and start off play by going forward. So just recognize that that's probably going to happen if they have the ball first. Like I said, pretty good in possession, able to circulate the ball around. The opponent doesn't do much to put them under pressure. They have numbers up, but you can see their shape. The outside backs don't get very high. And it's pretty much a pretty straight line build out. But again, like I said, they are able to keep good possession. So I just want to recognize that. Then ultimately creating situations where their forwards get into 1v1s and then they're able to take players on. So, collectively as a group, we just got to make sure we stay in our shape. But again, they're not impatient. She runs into some trouble here. There's a lot of players and then not afraid to back pass. So as that happens, we need to make sure we step our line up, but also, having two forwards, make sure we're putting them under a little bit more pressure. The opponent here is in a 4-2-3-1, so the center backs should have a little bit more joy. When we play two forwards, we want to make sure we're 1v1 and just putting them under a lot more pressure, making them play. But again, you can see they're decent at switching the point of attack. Not a bad idea there to get it out. Goalkeeper's going to look to play short most of the time. And so we want to make sure we're putting them under pressure. Right center back does like to carry forward and kick long, so just be alert to that. But again, as you can see, forwards are pretty good, pretty pacey, good 1v1 skill, and creating situations inside the 18. Again, for us, we'll have one forward there, one forward here, and then our wide mids need to make sure, obviously start central. But if these players get the ball out here, then, wide mids or outside backs need to make sure we step in, depending on what's happening on the day. But here's the right center back again, just keep taking space and playing in behind down that one channel. They did switch to a 4-4-2 in this game, just to create, because they were losing the numbers battle in the midfield. But this player here, the right forward, pretty quick. So just be alert to her. Make sure we're providing cover as center backs with her getting on the ball. But again, 1v1, good at 1v1, looks to cross the ball in. Didn't have too many shots on goal either, so just something to be aware of. Center backs, like I said, are decent. So again, down the right side, trying to get this forward on the ball. And looking across. So again, let me back up just a second, just making sure that we're matching up with any of their runners that are coming into the box. So there's nobody getting a free one. Pretty good through midfield. Again, there's another one of their forwards that has some ability. Just making sure as we apply pressure here, it's still going to be important that we don't allow players to get too much free space. So we want to make sure we cover this player as well. Number 31, she's pretty good on the ball as well. She comes in off the bench in this one, so comes in off the bench in this match. But again, it's recognizing where's the space. Now they're in a three front. And that right forward is just getting in and trying to cross. So making sure we're marking up tight with the forwards that are running in. Super important. Again, 31, loss of possession. She's going to cut in. So just recognize that. Nearly scores for them, but is creating opportunities. Midfielders here have some ability. So again, if we have our 4 versus them, should be an even matchup. So it'll be just really important for us to make sure that we have numbers, that we're even numbers. This ball here that goes in over the back line, again, center backs, just make sure we're aware of it. So we're not giving them too many opportunities to get in behind us. Goalkeeper punts. probably right around close to midfield. So just be aware of it. If we put her under pressure, she could make some mistakes if we get a little bit more pressure on her, make her play and off balance, as you can see there. So just recognize that and make sure we're jumping up. So their defensive shape, just some of the areas that we want to attack. Their back four in the wide area. This player here leaves runners. This player here leaves runners. So playing the ball in between that gap right there would be something that we want to focus on as well. And that's to a running forward 10 or running forward wide mid. Again, you can see they leave her on an island right here, their left back. So, we should be looking to get, our forwards as well as anybody running through into that area, and they still haven't stepped on her. So, it's super important that we look to travel down their right side. And on a little bit of an island, this midfielder doesn't know whether to step or whether to track. This is the left back who went all the way up there. So super important for us to recognize it and create some situations where we can play down this side. Doesn't mean we can't play in other places of the field, but recognize that that could be an opening. Where their transition to attack, if they get on the ball quick, make sure we don't allow them to get too many of these types of opportunities, because they do have some pace and they do have some ability to, get in behind. So make sure we try and end it at half field. So just so that you guys can see what they're trying to do in their attack, how they press. Okay, this is them pressing, which means that, this area right here, half space, is an important piece for us to make sure that, yes, goalkeepers, you guys can play the ball into this space as well. But if we're gonna play short to center backs, let's make sure that we have options to play, in between the lines here, in between the lines here, because this half space right here and here is going to be super important for us to, get on the ball, especially with four midfielders. And this is them pressing. We got to make sure we get the ball into this area. Goalkeepers, if you're going to clear it, if they're pressing with six players, it'll be super important for us to make sure we end it and clear the danger here, as opposed to giving them an opportunity. But you can see just their numbers pushing forward and trying to win the ball. Transition opportunity for us, as we win the ball, you see what their numbers look like defensively. And again, just making sure we find, a wide area here, a wide area there, might be advantageous for us. You can see that's a early shot, no problem with that, but just make sure we're recognizing who's running into open space and find them early. Restarts attacking. You can see they flood a lot of numbers, so just make sure we're ending these plays. Don't give them too many opportunities. Another wide one, not a corner, but just you can see what kind of numbers they're pushing in. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in and around the 18, inside the 18. So just be alert to it. Make sure we're on the same page. Just 31 taking a shot. Probably needed to be a service, but you could just see what their setup looks like. And a lot of numbers in. And pretty aggressive, like I said. So they're certainly going to work to get the ball back as much as they can. So service that they have here, there's a lot of black jerseys here. I don't think we would do that. I think we would mark up a little bit better, but just be aware of where she's trying to play the ball in swinging, bending ball that's trying to get in behind. So how they set up here, you can see, post, post, help with the goalkeeper, zone, zone. So you can just see what their setup looks like. Again, same setup, different corner. So again, for us, making sure we get our numbers in, and they're able to score on that. So you can see if we apply